I love the show. I love television. But I love movies too, and TV happened first. But this is, this is like.
McGruder was doing a live-action Uncle Ruckus movie, so we were doing some fundraising for it.
I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that the Boondocks was one of the most influential animated shows of its time, blending sharp social satire with hilarious and unfiltered gags that would never fly these days.
My first thought wasn't, oh my god, he said the N-word. It was, now how is a gonna borrow a fry? Is you gonna give it back?
So when series creator Aaron McGruder announced the Boondocks was getting a movie, fans expected big things, until everything fell apart. The film was supposed to be McGruder's big attempt to break into filmmaking, and with his cash cow no less. But instead, it didn't go out with a bang, it went out with a very lame whimper, with just about nobody talking about it today. The film never even made it past its crowdfunding stage, only earning a meager $129,963. Just for the sake of comparison, the Aqua Teen Hunger Force film had a budget of $750,000, and that was a total joke. This really begs the question, why did a movie that wasn't just a cash grab, but a creative departure for Aaron McGruder, which he would later execute with Black Jesus, fail so miserably to get off the ground? Well, that's what I aim to cover, because as you've probably noticed, I'm a huge fan of the Boondocks. And like you, I was incredibly bummed to find out that the recent reboot, set during a time when Uncle Ruckus was supposed to be mayor, was cancelled. You could only imagine the level of deja vu I was getting to this film getting cancelled. McGruder, while incredibly successful with his comic strip and early seasons of the show, seems to keep fumbling his creative endeavors, and no failure was more embarrassing than this one, which I actually learned a lot about while researching for my Why the Boondocks Failed video, which just goes to show that even in my mind, it had almost entirely evaporated. I remember there being a Kickstarter, but not much else. Seriously, where the Boondocks reboot was ultimately canned because McGruder took too long to deliver it to Sony's liking, the Boondocks movie's failure was entirely his own doing, and a massive miscalculation. But before we dive into why the film failed, be sure to drop a comment below about whether you would have wanted to see this movie. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's totally free and helps my videos reach more people. I can almost remember it as if it was yesterday. 2013, Aaron McGruder, in a somewhat shocking turn of events, announced a movie for the Boondocks. However, this wasn't going to be your typical adaptation. It wouldn't simply translate the show into a film format. Instead, it was set to focus on the show's most popular side character, Uncle Ruckus, telling a story about him and his family, territory that had never been explored in the series before. On paper, this might have seemed like a genius move from McGruder. However, it quickly faced backlash as fans weren't entirely on board with the idea of a movie that removed the Boondocks' greatest counterbalances to Ruckus, Huey, and Riley. And despite heavy promotion online at events, complete with Gary Anthony Williams appearing in full costume,
I have whacked off to that woman so much I can't even tell you.
skepticism for the project remained high. You can still actually find various comments on Uncle Ruckus's YouTube channel reflecting how little faith people actually had in this project. It started out fairly high, and then slowly lost steam as it went along. The entire project had a what's the point type energy to it that was really just unfortunate, because you could really tell that Gary Anthony Williams was giving his all in this. Perhaps the biggest deterrent was centering the story around a character largely used for racist satire. While Ruckus was meant to be satirical as an Uncle Tom figure, even Gary Anthony Williams had to constantly reassure people that he wasn't actually like that.
I think even me playing Ruckus, I have to go, this is this idiot character. This is who it is. Some people are going to be angry. Some people are going to love it. If people understand the entire satire of it, it's going to work. Yeah, people are sensitive, and I honestly think people have a right to be sensitive.
Ruckus isn't exactly the type of character you want to build an entire film around. Much like the spin-off shows that ditch the main characters to focus on comic relief side characters, think SpongeBob with the Patrick Star Show, fans weren't exactly eager to see a Ruckus film without the characters who countered him and made his presence a clear joke. And even if they wrote in new characters to balance him, it would be a hard sell to have Grandpa, Riley, and Huey removed from the film. And in my opinion, the pure death blow to the film. How could a show known for its exaggerated and often anime-inspired visuals work in live action? Stripping it of its distinct style in favor of real actors seemed like a huge gamble, and while Gary Anthony Williams was well respected as an actor, he was primarily known for his voice work, which didn't inspire much confidence that a live-action film would succeed. Despite his strong performances in films like I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, he doesn't exactly have major box office draw written all over him. I mean, the biggest thing he's done recently that I could actually see is the Invincible series as a minor side character. And while casting Huey and Riley was nearly impossible due to them being children, one of the more bizarre ideas considered was casting everyone's favorite modern philosopher, Jaden Smith, as both roles.
I go around sometimes and I hang out with other people that are my age, and they're just kind of just...
Ultimately, McGruder settled on focusing solely on Ruckus and his family. Many fans felt that Riley and Huey were essential to the show's black cultural identity, making their absence a significant loss. But perhaps the most dumbfounding issue in the production of this Boondocks film was that despite McGruder's established industry presence, he opted for crowdfunding, aiming to raise $200,000, which is absolutely bizarre when you think about it, because in most cases, movies that rely on fundraisers for financing tend to be unsuccessful. It's because the conventional approach to filmmaking involves securing investments up front, then earning back the budget through box office revenue. This in all likelihood did little to restore fans' confidence in the film. After all, why would McGruder, a wealthy producer of a widely popular Adult Swim show, resort to crowdfunding for a project that investors had already passed on? This left many fans understandably questioning why he didn't seek traditional studio backing, especially given all of his past successes. The campaign unfortunately ended with only $129,963, which was pledged by 2,667 backers, falling painfully short of its goal. As a result, the project was shelved, highlighting a clear disconnect between McGruder's vision and audience expectations. Just to hammer the final nail into the Boondocks' coffin, the 2014 release of Season 5 was met with critical and audience disappointment. By that point, any plans for an Uncle Ruckus film, hell, let alone a Boondocks movie, were completely dead. Well, what did we learn here, guys? Well, for starters, the failure of the Uncle Ruckus movie wasn't just a missed opportunity. It was a sign that some ideas are better left on the drawing board. Aaron McGruder was too talented to be stuck chasing a project that never had the foundation to succeed. He built a legacy with the Boondocks, and even if he ever returns to the spotlight, it should be with something truly worthy of his talent. As for Gary Anthony Williams, while he never got to bring Ruckus to the big screen, his career has never slowed down. He continues to voice incredible roles across animation and video games, and with any luck, he'll land another live-action role as strong as his performance in I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. Personally, I think it's time for McGruder, and by extension, all of us, to move on from the Boondocks. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you next week.
What the hell is wrong with my eye? We can discuss all of that. Anything you want to. Propose to somebody. Punk somebody. Show me a picture of your naked ass. I don't care, as long as we get to talk and really get to know each other. For more information, you can go to UncleRuckusMovie.com and you'll find it all there. Excuse me, I got to get back to the important work of setting this thing up.